Prince Harry might lose his last royal role according to experts. Harry and wife Meghan Markle left their royal titles in the UK to live their life in the US with their family in 2020. Now the former prince is facing the loss of his final royal role. In 1937, the Queen's father King George VI created the Regency Act, which decided the councillors of states in their current model. The members of the monarch's spouse and the four most senior members of the royal family over the age of 21, which means Prince Charles, Prince William, Prince Harry and Prince Andrew are among the four. However, there are questions whether Harry is eligible due to living in the US now. All of these decisions, the military titles, the HRHs in abeyance, could theoretically be reversed. However, having Parliament take formal action to remove them as councillors of state is in another league entirely. If the Queen does take steps to have this situation remedied and Harry is axed, there really is no going back, said a source. After Harry's exit, he is not suddenly likely to drop everything and come back to his British life and royal duties. However, whatever you might think about his choices over the last 24 months, for more than 15 years he well and truly did his bit for the Queen and country, including serving 2 tours on the front line in Afghanistan, helping significantly change the conversation about mental health and founding the Invictus Games. Being removed, by Parliament no less, as a councillor of state would really be the nail in Harry's coffin of his former life as a frontline member of the royal family. On the other hand, Ken Worf, who looked after Harry's security when he was younger, explained he could have simply contacted Buckingham Palace, who would issue a liaison officer to him where information could be shared with his own private protection team. Speaking on Palace Confidential, Mr. Worf explained how Harry should have handled his security concerns to avoid his legal action against the Home Office. He explained, "I think what he should have done. He's still got a lot of contacts despite what he might think within Buckingham Palace. That could have made those contacts with Scotland Yard to arrange, at the very least, a liaison officer that would work in conjunction with his protection team. Even before they left America, to make sure that the transfer from the airport wherever that might be to wherever you live in the United Kingdom. Now, if that happened, we probably wouldn't be discussing that now because it would have been in place and everything would have worked. But to make this request at relatively short notice and without any warning, threatening this legal action, I think has confused himself, if I'm honest." Mr. Worf added he believed Harry may not have thought the backlash would happen and expected a bucket full of cash would solve the problem. He added he did not want the UK government to allow protection to be purchased as it would set a precedent for everyone else. Harry lost his taxpayer-funded security team when he left the royal family and was forced to pay for private bodyguards instead. However, as key royal events emerge on the calendar, Harry has raised concerns over his safety should he return to the UK for any of them. Prince Philip's memorial service is due to be held in the spring, which Harry and his family are expected to be at. The Duke of Sussex has been told by royal commentators that the private options available to him are still effective at what they do, as he could hire former royal protection officers who understand the layout of important royal residences. Royal expert Rafe Hadelman told GB News that Harry could learn from Princesses Eugenie and Beatrice, who have their own private security. He explained, "If there were a real security risk for Prince Harry, our intelligence services would, of course, take action. We have to remember that, and they aren't going to simply let that information not go unnoticed. And then, of course, you could expect Scotland Yard to take the necessary action." Princesses Eugenie and Beatrice hire ex-royal protection officers who are extremely skilled and have a lot of history in this area, and they've also got security clearance in the royal palaces. The only thing is, that they don't have is a firearm, which is quite understandable. And if Prince Harry speaks very nicely to Beatrice and Eugenie, maybe he can borrow their protection officers when he is in the country. And of course, we're only talking about the occasions when he is not in royal surroundings, because if Harry's over here, visiting his family, you will, of course, get the same protection that they're getting by virtue of being in the same area.